What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the KO MP-52 Clear Starscream. So this was purchased from Shozy store. I'm not advertising for them, but I just wanted you to be aware so you can buy it if you're looking for it. Now, this is an unbranded box. It really has nothing on it. It's just this big white box. Doesn't say anything. The only thing you can see is right here, 4P MP-52C. So 4P stands for fourth party, which is the new name for KO companies. A little weird. And then the C stands for clear. So MP-52 clear. But there's nobody claiming ownership of this figure. So it's just a KO. Now, as with KOs, the quality isn't necessarily what you'd expect. This is about a mediocre quality KO. It's not complete trash, but it's not the best either. You can feel some of the tolerances. The plastic's a little bit soft, and the tolerances here and there are a little bit off. And so just know and expect, if you're going to buy this, this is $140 from Shozy store, which is way less than the original MP-52, but still, not cheap. So just know what you're getting for that price. It does have a lot of the same features and basically the exact same accessories, with the exception of one accessory which is new, which I'll show you in robot mode. But let's take a look at the features here. You do have the opening cockpit there. It does have the translucent seat there. Opening nose cone with the radar dish in there. That all looks fine. And you'll notice the nose cone sometimes just gets out of whack. You just got to fix it. It doesn't hold in place as well as the original MP-52. You do have basically all translucent except for white parts. So a lot of the joints here are in white. The front intakes here are painted white. The chest is painted white. The landing gear parts are painted white, and then the crotch piece painted white. The rest is all either translucent or just colored plastic. All in all, pretty nice looking jet mode. It does roll nicely on those wheels like the original did. Now you may have noticed I'm using the purple background here today because obviously you can't see this clear figures very well on my normal white or even gray background. So we're going to use this. Now let's take a look at the accessories you get. You do get basically the exact same accessories. I want to show you the differences. So you do get your Megatron gun in this translucent plastic. Here's the original. Nicely done. Basically exact copy. And you can install this down here. It kind of doesn't have much purpose. I mean, in the original didn't, but if you want to, let's see. I think it goes right there. Oh, does it go right there? It's supposed to go right there, but it doesn't actually fit. Maybe that tab's a little bit loose. There you go. So it fits right there if you want it in flight mode. But you can also take this and use this translucent plastic blast effect. This just fits right on the end of the barrel. And again, the fitment of some of this stuff is not perfect, but there you go. And I am pretty afraid to break this translucent plastic. I'm very careful, but there you go. Blast effects are one thing I think don't make sense in clear. I do believe they should have stayed purple, but since they did it, let's show it. You do get this long blast effect here, which was originally translucent purple. Now it's this clear plastic. That does fit on the long end of the null ray there. You also get this spread blast effect here. So here's the original, and that's a nice clear plastic there. So you can use that also with the null rays, obviously in robot mode as well. So I can't get this on here. I don't want to push it because the last thing I'm going to do is crack this null ray, but it doesn't seem to go on there. Let's see if it goes on the gun maybe. Yeah, it looks like it fits on the gun. So you can use this with the Megatron gun, but for whatever reason, it won't fit on the tip of this null right here. Maybe just my copy, but there you go. So the last effect is these engine blast effects, and the original is purple. And again, I would say this really needs to be colored to make any sense. But there you go. You get the translucent instead of the purple. And all those parts do look and feel fine. Now, one accessory I forgot to mention is the flight stand. So instead of the purple, you now get the translucent plastic here. And it's the same parts. It works exactly the same way. Again, fitment is not perfect, but it's good enough. I would be careful with this translucent plastic, but basically you get the same little mounting point there. And then you can take the little adapter here, and that's going to fit on the bottom of the jet right there. So get that in there gently, carefully, and then that is going to mount right here on the top of the flight stand. And there you have clear Starscream on the flight stand in jet mode. It looks really nice. I like how they've integrated this flight stand, and it's also clear. So I think the original should have been done like this. It's actually kind of nice to have a clear stand. I don't know why they made it purple, but either way, there you go for the flight stand. Now there is one more accessory. We're going to look at that in robot mode, so I'll save that. There's another thing you get is these stickers. Now the original MP-52 had painted red and white lines on the wings, so now they give you the stickers and the Decepticon logos so you can put those on. So there is the clear Starscream with the stickers applied. I only done half of it so you can see what it looks like comparatively. So you got 3 stickers, one little one on the flap here, and then the Decepticon logo for the top. Then on the bottom you got the same thing, 3 stickers, 1, 2, and then 3 over here. There's a little gap here on the bottom. You're not going to see it because in robot mode that's going to be folded down, so you're never going to see that, but I just wanted to note that there is a little gap in the sticker there on this side. And then there's the Decepticon logo. That looks really nice. I think without this it doesn't look right, so you really need to have these stickers on there for this to be a proper Ghost Starscream. And then I brought in, for comparison, the official MP-52 Plus Thundercracker, and you can see I've reproduced the placement of these as exactly as I could to make it identical. So we're going to get this guy transformed into his robot mode. It is the exact same transformation as the original MP-52. So there's no need to show it again. If you're interested in that transformation, I do have a video for MP-52, so you can check that out. But we'll get this transformed. We'll also get the rest of the stickers on here, and then we'll be right back. And there we have the clear Starscream in his robot mode. Really cool looking. It paid off for sure. So the white parts with the translucent all around, and then the stickers back here just for a little added touch. Here's the back, which is previously the underside. That looks great. Here's the side. You got the Decepticon logos there. It does have painted red eyes. The rest is that white plastic I showed you earlier. All in all, looks really, really good. Now, all of the same accessories do work here. You can use these translucent blast effects, although I don't think clear makes sense. You also get the same 5 sets of faces. And they're going to be hard to see because they're clear, but the yelling face, smiling face, sort of a happy yelling face, kind of a smirking face, and then finally a oh face. So you get all of those. They do look good. Let's take a look at the face sculpt, the head sculpt. This one, let's see which one's on. Just a straight face that's on there. Kind of hard to see because it's all clear, but does look cool. Now we do get a new accessory here in his robot mode, and it comes on this sprue. You do have to cut it off the runner here, and there's 3 parts, and this is his crown. Now this is interesting because I don't know how do they have this mold. Maybe the crown or the coronation set has come out in Japan or China. It obviously has not come out here. So I'm not sure how they had a hold of this mold, but they have it. So you basically take the 3 parts, you sandwich them together. There's little tabs to hold it together. And make sure you get all those tabs lined up because you don't want to break this. And then squeeze. There's a little tab right there and a tab right here. And give that a nice squeeze, and that'll hold this crown together. So there it goes, and you can get that on his head. Let's see which way it goes. There you go. Fits perfectly. So that is a little odd to me. Maybe somebody got a hold of this coronation set. They're able to make this, but very, very cool additional accessory, which we did not get with the original. So you also get the same exact accessories that we got before, the little claw arm with the little piece of rock from that one episode, from that one thing that he did. And you get the screw accessory here, which you can, both of those you can attach to his hand. And not to be left out, but the flight stand does work in this mode. You basically fold it down in that peg. Now let's go over the articulation. I want to do this because some of the joints are a little different, but we'll go over the whole thing. The head is on this joint that goes all the way up to there, and it also lifts up off the neck. Now I noticed this neck is much tighter than the original, so the head pops off the ball joint. Not a big deal. You can just pop that right back on the ball joint, and then make sure you lift down at the bottom. Now you get that way down movement, and then side to side. You get everything you used to get. You have a rotation at the shoulder, nice and tight. This joint seems to be loose, so there's a butterfly that's nice and tight, but the joint that was up and down on that butterfly joint is loose on this side. This side seems okay, it does hold. This one's a little bit looser, so I had to adjust for that by rotating here, and the thing is really tight at this shoulder joint. So it kind of gets in its own way because you're trying to bend here at the shoulder joint, but you can't do it. You just gotta kind of hold it, but you can get him firing his missile. Continuing on, or his null right here. You get a rotation at the bicep. Double jointed elbow gets you the more than 90 degrees. It does come unpegged here, so you just come back and get that pegged back in. That is very similar to the original, but you do get the full bend there on the elbows. You have a rotation at the wrist. Individually articulated fingers. Fingers are in this white plastic. You can see you get the same exact articulation as the original. The hand itself goes in and out at the wrist, and then the fingers have 2 pins. So he can point, he can do what you need him to do. No rotation, just like the original. You do have an ab crunch here. I will say this is a little bit looser than the original, but you can do that. Hip skirts here, and I would be careful. Thin plastic and translucent. Legs, nice strong ratchets out to there, back to there, out to the side on a ratchet, but this thing is in the way, so I don't know what to deal with that. Okay, there we go. A little bit of hindrance there. Rotation at the thigh. Single jointed knee, single jointed, but it gets you well past 90 degrees due to the way it's sculpted. And this is much tighter than the original, like I mentioned earlier. Nice tight knee joint. You have ankle tilt, which is also much tighter than the original, and then a pivot this way. And if you want, you can push the heel back to get a little bit more support. So there he is next to the original MP-52, and again, perfect reproduction here. Now these knees are definitely looser. Now if you hold it by the knee and let it go, it will go backwards, and that's because this is mostly die cast up here. So all these parts have a lot of die cast. This is now plastic, translucent plastic. It's not die cast. So there's a little bit of reduced weight due to that because they've gotten rid of some of this die cast in here. So that maybe helps with the falling down. It does, maybe it is die cast. I don't know, they kind of feel similar, but I believe there's less weight. But in addition, they've tightened up these joints so you can hold it like this. He's not going to fall down. Same for these feet. So these feet are much more tight. They hold the position much better. So less droopiness in the robot mode. And also there's your comparison. So final thoughts on the MP-52 Clear Starscream KO. Let's start with the positives. I think it looks really cool. It's a good looking transparent figure. You can use it as your Ghost Starscream or just whatever, fit it in with your transparent collection. I like that they put a little bit of paint in the white parts here and here on the chest, on the crotch, and on the hands, and then on some a little bit on the wings and the pylons. All of that looks nice and it stands out. I also like that they corrected or tightened the knee joints and the heel joints, so that allows you to get dynamic poses like this, where he's sort of not perfectly balanced, or he's perfectly balanced, but he's not perfectly down flat on both feet, and he can still stand up, which is great. Negatives wise, there is a tiny bit of soft plastic, but not as much as I initially thought. This does actually feel quite solid and quite good. The vehicle mode definitely has a little bit of fitment issues, but the robot mode definitely looks good, fits together, and just overall performs well. So if you're a transparent collector, I highly recommend this figure for your collection. That's really it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.